Begin sitting tall and supremely still. Close the eyes. Bring the attention inward. Nothing to do, nothing to seek. Everything we need is already within. Let's begin with the sound of Om 3 times to bring divine attention to the self. Imagine you are everywhere. Fix your mind on God alone. Rest your mind in God alone. And in God you will live hereafter. Of this there is no doubt. May all beings everywhere be happy and free from suffering and enjoy this practice through our senses. May we acquire a strong desire for the knowledge that brings us relief from pain and suffering. And may we cherish no ill feelings against each other. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. So let's come to standing. Bring the hands to the heart. We'll start with a mantra for purification. If you happen to know it, you can chant it along. If you don't, just think about the intention of purifying the space, the grounds, and all the psychic channels within. And then you derive all the benefits as though you were chanting. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Bihantraha Sachi. 2 more times. Try to do each one in one breath if you know it. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Bihantraha Sachi. Om Pavitraha Pavitra Va Sawa Vashtanga Topi Va Yaha Smarit Pandrikaksham Sabaya Bihantraha Sachi. Release the arms. Now let's begin with charging breathing. So we're going to stand with our feet about 10 inches apart. Bring the arms up over the head, the palms facing in like a V shape. As I count to 8, you're imagining you're drawing the earth's energy right up through the body, right to the fingertips. Hold the breath at the fingertips and the attention of the fingertips for a count of 6. Exhale, breathe back down to the soles of the feet. Imagine the whole body being flushed with the earth's charge. Inhale, bring the energy up. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Holding the breath and the attention at the fingertips. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Exhale all the way back down. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Inhale, bring the energy up all the way throughout the body. Holding all the attention and the breath at the fingertips. Exhale, feel the body fully charged as the breath leads back down. Last time, draw the earth's energy all the way up. Holding at the fingertips. Exhale down, smoothly and evenly. Bring the arms down now. Let's continue some exercises to prepare the body for the practice. We'll start to move the head in circles. Watch the body moving as though you're the witness. Imagine you're watching a body as though you're in a dream. So in the dreams, all the movements are fluid and graceful. Change direction of rotation. Try to get the ears to touch the shoulders as the head moves around. Good. And now we're going to circle the right arm forward. Loosen up the shoulder. Switch directions. Left arm forward, circling. And then back. Now raise your arms up over the head. Exhale, just throw the body down. Breathe out through the mouth like a big sigh. One last one, just stay hanging down. Allow the body to stop shaking. And then roll your way back up. Good, left arm up. Inhale, reach up high. Exhale, bend to the right. And then come up again, make like grass blowing in the wind. Bend to the right, hips and ribs out through the left side body. Inhale, come up. Try not to create wrinkles in the side body as you bend. And then coming up again. Stretch, lengthen as you bend. One last time. Inhale, come up. Exhale, bend. And then reach back up, go to the other side. Right arm up and go to the left. Inhale, come up. Lengthen, exhale, smoothly glide down. And right back up. And then reach to the left. And back up. And again, sway to the left. Last time. Coming back up. And bend. And then come back up. So now just start to use your shoulders to move the body. And then just go faster. Allow the arms to slap the body any which way. And just go as fast as you can. Just shake it out. Start to slow it down again. Arms heavy, hitting the body. And then coming back to standstill. Next one is called lion's breath. So we're going to come down into a squat. You only have to go down as far as you can comfortably, and then just let your eyes go big and your tongue to hang out of your mouth. Okay, so it's good for releasing tension. 8 times. And back up. Good. Shake out the wrists, fingers flying from side to side, like you're shaking water off your hands. And then up and down. Fingers moving so fast you can't even see them. Good. And release. So a few toe presses here. Reach the arms up over the head. The palms are facing up. Inhale, lift up off your heels. Exhale, back down. Rock back onto your heels. Inhale, lift up on your toes. And back down, pull back on the heels, lift the toes, inhale, come up, so you're rocking back and forth. And then forward again, and back on the heels, one more time. Inhale, push up, pull the heels down, and then lift the toes, and reach the arms down. So let's come to the top of the mat again. Surya Namaskar, bring the hands to the heart. Remember, better than practice, and even better than meditation, is to renounce all the fruits of our actions. Do the practice as though it were your divine duty to all beings everywhere. Let's move together as one to stay in a collective mind. Surya Namaskara. Reach the arms up over the head. Bring the hands down to the ground. Bend the knees if you need to bring your hands flat on the ground. Right foot back into a lunge. Sink down to the seat. Lift the head. Come into high plank. Lower down the knees, bring the seat all the way back behind the heels. And then from here, you can push your elbows up to the side, brush your nose to the ground, and lift up into cobra. Arch the back. Come all the way back again, 3 times. Come forward again. Pull the body up, chest high, head back, all the way back, seat behind the heels. One last time. Smoothly glide forward, brush your nose to the ground, and lift the head. Roll over the toes back into downward facing dog now. Now the right foot steps forward to the hands. Those difficult, just bring the back knee down and just assist the foot forward with the right hand. Feet together, chest to the thighs, head down. Come all the way up to standing, arms over the head, hands back to the heart. Don't worry about the breath, just move the body in a way that feels intuitive, that keeps the breath steady and even. Left foot back, and then the breath will deliver fluidity and ease of movement. Feet back together, lower the seat all the way back behind the knees. Come all the way forward again into the cobra. Pull all the way back, child's pose. Once again, glide forward smoothly. Take the seat all the way back. One last time, come forward into the Bhujangasana. Roll over the toes, back into downward facing dog. Then the left foot steps forward to the hands. Sink down through the seat. Bow to the legs. Bring the legs together, chest to the thighs, head down. Come all the way up to standing, reach up and back. Return home. And now just going through the Surya Namaskara. Come down. Link the moves together seamlessly. Right foot back into a lunge. Plank. Ashtanga Namaskara. Knees, chest, and chin down. Right through into Cobra this time. And then immediately downward facing dog. Right foot steps between the hands. Left foot follows. Bow down on the legs. Come up. And pranayama. Again. Keep watching the body moving. You're the witness. Fold down. Left foot back. Into the plank. Down. Forward rise. Retreat. Lift the seat up and back. Left foot steps. Then right. Bow to the legs. Come up. And back. A different variation this time. Reach the arms up and back. Bring the hands down. Now press into the hands. Bring your weight over your fingertips a little bit. Shoulders over the fingertips. Lift up. And then see if you can float back. Jump your feet back all the way or walk back if that's better. Hovering just above the ground in chaturanga. And now, swing your body forward. Lift the hips and knees away from the ground. Make like a dog howling at the moon. Shoulders back, head high. Extend the neck out of the shoulders so you don't lose your neck. Push into the hands. And now, back into downward facing dog. Pull the seat up and back, and then just bounce to the chest a little bit. Try to get your chest closer to the ground. So you can get the armpits close to the ground as well. If you can, rest the top head on the ground. Pull the belly towards the thighs. Feel like a dog stretching its back. And now lift the heels, look between your hands. You can either jump your feet forward to the space between your hands or walk your feet forward. Again, bow to the legs, chest on the thighs. Come all the way up, arms over the head, hands back to the heart. Again, sweep the arms up over the head, stretch the front of the body. Come down gracefully. Now lift up, shoulders come over the fingertips, push into your hands, and just lift the feet a little bit, and then bend your elbows as you shoot your legs back or walk back. Again, upward facing dog. You move according to your condition. Shoulders back, chest forward, head back. Lose yourself in the sensations. Back into downward facing dog. Feel like a dog stretching its back again. Push the seat back. Soften the line of the back. Good. Then lift the heels, bend the knees, look to the space between your hands. Bring your feet forward, hopping or walking. Uttanasana. Come all the way up. Hands back to the heart. 2 more like that. Reach the arms up. Go down. Getting ready to come back. Lift up and jump back or walk back. Upward facing dog. And downward facing dog. Move through the movements, but just be deliberate in every movement. So now coming forward to the hands. Bring your feet forward. Bow to the legs. Come all the way up to standing. Stretch the front of the body. Back home. Last time. Come down. Make your way back into chaturanga, walking or hopping, and then come up into upward facing dog. Smoothly transition back into downward facing dog. Feel as though you're doing a dance. Lift the heels, bend the knees. Bring your feet forward, hopping or walking. Bow to the legs. And then come all the way up to standing. Bring the hands back to the heart. Take a deep breath in here, standing tall in pranayama. Inhale from the heart to the third eye. Bring yourself up to divinity, to the highest space. Exhale back down to the heart. Keep your sights set high in every sense of the word. And release the hands. Now we're going to do standing postures. So in every pose, try to think of the idea of offering it up. Tree pose, Rikshasana, standing on your left foot first, bring the right knee up. And you have options here of placing the foot either against the inseam of the leg, just not against the knee. It doesn't have to come all the way to the root, but just not against the knee. You can even keep it on the ground if you're having trouble balancing. If you have a lotus, bring it into lotus. Bring the knee right up towards the shoulder. Place the foot in the hip crease. Keep holding on to the foot or allow the knee to drop if you can. And bring your hand to the heart. If you can let go of the foot, bring both hands to the heart. Now stand tall and steady like a tree. Your gaze is beyond the tip of the nose. And if you like, bring your arms up over the head. Now keep reaching up towards the sun. If you want, you can look up. Every pose an expression of offering. Like you're saying, take me, I am yours to do your will. You're saying this to the divine self. In Dharma Yoga, we express that as God. Om. Release from the pose. Other side. Stand firm on the right foot. Spread the toes. You're like the roots of the tree. Come into your pose again. Your lotus if you like, or just your conventional tree. Press the base of the toes and the heel firmly against the leg for balance. And keep your focus steady. When you're ready, raise the arms up over the head. Keep lifting up. Lift your gaze as well. If you feel comfortable, whatever happens, remain unconcerned, unfazed. Mindset never changes. Om. Bring it back. Release. Next pose is ballet pose. So we're taking the right foot, holding behind the heel. The thumb is behind the heel. Extend the left arm, and if you can, you extend the leg. The toes on the same line as the fingertips. Lean a little bit away from the raised leg. If you need to, place your hand on the wall. If it's can't get the leg straight, just bring the knee out to the side. Okay, so take your modification as you need to. If you're feeling very steady, you can arch your back a little bit, look up. Option here to let go of the foot, but try not to drop the foot. So keep engaging this raised leg. Let go of the foot. Slowly float it back down. Return. Try it on the other foot now. Press down into the right foot. Lift the left leg up. Build the pose. Bring the legs up. Imagine the form of a ballet dancer doing it with poise. Whatever happens, again, remember, it's the effort that counts. Lift up through the heart. And perhaps, if you want, let go of the foot. Keep it up there. I'm just going to come forward to look. Beautiful. And start to make your way down slowly. Next pose. Come to the back of the mat. You're doing warrior 3, moving into another variation as you see fit. Bring the arms over the head, the hands together like you're brandishing a sword. Bring the left foot forward and lean into the pose like you're charging like a warrior. Bring the right leg up. Imagine you're lying on a table. You want to be flat and level. Stay strong, true as an arrow or a spear. You may stay there, or if you want, toppling tree. Swim the arms back behind you, interlace the fingers, press the heels to the palms away. And then lower the body down, raise your right foot up a little bit higher. Form like a cobra shape with your body. Arch the back. Bring the chest forward, the arms a little bit more over the head. Keep in the pose. The longer you stay in the pose, the more you tap into consciousness. Good. Whatever happens, again, remain unconcerned, just do your best. So you can get the foot up a little bit higher. Yes. Beautiful. Break the pose, come back down. Step back to the back end of the mat. Try again on the other side. Arms up. Right foot steps forward and come forward. Smoothly. Watch the body moving by itself. Hips level. You may stay there or toppling tree. Interlace your fingers, press the heels, your palms away, and then raise the left leg up a little bit higher. Bring the belly towards the thigh, but then push the chest forward. Come back down. Come to the back of the mat. Next pose, asana. Left foot steps forward, lower down on the knee. Bring the seat all the way down. Sit as far forward as possible. So I like to have the hands on the seat to start, pull the seat down and push the rib basket up. It's a good preparation for the pose. Lift the chest up, bring the shoulders back. If you feel okay, reach the arms overhead, clap the hands together, interlace the fingers, index fingers come together like a point. Kali Mudra. Now rock the shoulders back and forth. Try to get the shoulders behind the ears. Keep the arms straight, crescent moon. Try to get the fingertips over the back toe. This is an expression that embodies surrender. Now you may stay here, or there's another variation if you like, if you're more advanced. You can either just bring your left hand to your left knee and the right hand to the right, towards the right foot, arch the back, again, curve the body, or if you can, you bring the back foot in, close. Bring the foot to the crook of the arm, fingertips close to the ear, and then the left arm circles around and hands joined together, the fingers locked together. And then if you can, push your wrists, your toes back into your inner wrist. Keep your chest forward. Swan pose. Remember, you can stay in your copy asana as well. Move according to your condition. Om. Bring the foot back and down. Change sides. Just bring the right foot forward. Back knee down. Prepare for the pose again. Hands to the seat. Bring the belly button forward. Lift the chest. Drop the head back. Sit as low as you can so the pressure's not on the knee. If it's too much for your knee, you can bend the toes under and lift the knee up off the ground. It's a little bit more of an active pose, but if that's better for you, go ahead. And the arms over the head. You can stay high if you need to, or if you're more flexy, go back. Chest forward. Lift and lengthen. Other variation, you can stay there or move into swan. This is a nice interim pose, or take the back foot up, press the foot into the crook of the arm, keep the ears, the fingers close to the ears so your hand finds a fan more easily, and then push into the arm, try to lengthen the arms, curve the arms like the neck of a swan. Turn the chest forward. Look up. Om. Bring the back foot towards the shoulder first. Let the foot go. Change legs again. Right knee back, left foot forward. So you want to make sure that your legs are like a box. Bend the toes under and the back foot. Right arm up. Reach up, go across to the left. The armpit is right against the thigh. And your hands in prayer, or left fist in the right hand. Push the body up so the center of the chest comes towards the thumbs. Roll the left shoulder back. Now, if this is bothersome for your knee, you can again lift the knee up off the ground. Inhale, extend the left hip back, head forward. Exhale, keep rolling deeper into the pose. Try to get your chest and your face up. If you know bind, go ahead. Left arm comes around. Move the hips back so you can join the hands together. Om. Back knee down. Change sides. I'll do it facing this way, so you can see another angle. Left knee down to start. Left arm up. Go across to the right and bring the arm. Anchor the left leg, the right leg in place with your arm. Hand at the heart or a fist in your hand. Push the chest up. Roll the right shoulder back. Try to get your shoulders at the same height. The chest is facing right up. Or take a bind here if you like. Move the hips back. Join your hands. Your hands are underneath the belly. You may stay here or take the left knee up off the ground to make it a little bit more of an active pose. Extend the right hip back, head forward, and then pull yourself deeper. Keep in the pose. Good. Nice. See if you can get the top shoulder roll back even more. Beautiful. Break the pose. Left foot forward. Lizard. So you want to walk your left foot out to the outside of the mat. The right foot goes back and just push back and forth, trying to get your hips to sink. Push back one more time through the back foot. Lower the knee down, flatten out the toes. If your shoulder is at the same height as the knee or lower, you can roll towards the right form can come down. Perhaps the left form will come down as well. Keep your knee close to the shoulder. And keep pulling at the floor as you bring the head forward. If you're very flexible, try to get your chest on the ground. Left arm can come to the outside of the foot. Keep on coming forward with the chest. Fix the gaze. Steady like a lizard that doesn't blink. Come back onto the hands, switch sides. So the right foot forward, and then push back and forth again. Make sure the knee doesn't fall out to the side. If it does, it may mean your foot's too close. So walk it out so that the knee stays over the foot. And then push back through the left heel one more time. Lower the knee down, roll to the left. See if you can get the right form down, roll to the right. Maybe the right form comes down. If not, just stay on your hands. Keep it extending your chest forward. And then fix the gaze. Be still as possible. If you can bring your chest on the ground. Try to have both hips around the same height. Try not to open up the right hip too much. If you're falling towards the left, try to straighten up. Telescope the chest forward more. Exhale, sink down, anchor down through the hips, get heavy in the lower body. Om. Come back onto the hands into plank pose. So stay strong on your hands and you extend back through the heels, side plank. Move the left hand more towards the right so the hands right from the nose. Spin towards the right. Lift the hips, bring the right arm up. Hips forward. Imagine being blown like a kite from behind. You can stack one right foot on top of the left if you have good balance. Switch to the other side. Come back to plank. I personally like to bring my hips back in downward facing dog first. I get more height. And then move the right hands more to the middle of the mat. And then extend the left arm up. Make sure you don't collapse into your shoulder. Keep the arm strong. Extend out of the shoulder. Lift your hips. Beautiful. Now come back to downward facing dog. Another round of Vasisthasana. Come back on your left hand and left foot. Go again into side plank. If you want, you can come into other variations. If you want wild thing, you slide your right toes back, push into your toes, and bring your hips and your chest to face up. Stay flat on your left foot. If you're strong on your left hand and left foot, you might be able to bring the right knee up. Maybe even take the foot. Okay, if you know that variation, go ahead. Watch the body moving. If you need to modify, just come down on your left knee. Move according to your condition. Now, return to downward facing dog. Try it on the other foot now. Go ahead, other side. Right hand moves towards the left and start to move into the pose. Bury your mind deep in the heart. Watch the body move by itself. Good, Shanique. Lift your hips up a little bit more. Beautiful, Sarah. Now back into downward facing dog. Breathe in, breathe out. Now we're going to step the left foot forward between the hands. Virabhadrasana 1. Back foot flat on the ground. Raise your arms up. Head behind the arms. Look up towards the fingertips. If you need to, you can separate your hands if it's too much on your shoulders. Come into consciousness of the mighty warrior, strong and proud and determined. Good. Now from here, we're going to straighten out the front leg. Spin on your feet so you're facing the long edge of the mat. Your hands at the heart center. We're coming into hero sequence with your hands in front of the heart in prayer position. Breathe in from the heart to the space between the eyebrows. Exhale back down to the heart. Reestablish a strong connection between you and God, you and divinity, your own divinity. Bring your hands onto the seat. Move your feet in a little bit so your heels are inside the mat and the toes are just pointing outwards. Now bend your knees. Try to have your knees over the toes. Push into the seat and pull down at the same time. And then as you pull down on the seat, straighten out the legs. Bring the head back. The hips are forward. And if you want, you can slide one hand at a time. Grip below the knees. Roll the thighs towards another. The thumbs come a little bit further in between the legs. The shins roll inwards as the thighs roll outwards. Om. Walk your hands back on the seat, push into the seat, pull down at the same time and come up. Separate your feet a little bit, edges of the feet parallel, arms out to the side, Prasarita Padottanasana. Hinge forward, come down, head towards the ground. Can step on your fingers if you have the reach, or just take hold of the outer leg, shins. Try to pull your body down so the head comes through to your feet. Imagine trying to get your chest behind your legs. So it's like getting like a little bit of a cobra action. Om. Arms out to the side, come up. Again, go back. Hands on the seat, walk your feet in a little bit again, toes on the outside of the mat. Push your hips forward. As you pull down on the seat, straighten out the legs, lift the hips a little bit higher, bring the head back. Make sure you keep on breathing throughout. Make sure you're not jamming your neck between your shoulders so the breath can still pass. Om. Lift back up. Right. Turn to the right this time. Widen your stance, facing forward. Virabhadrasana 1, warrior 1. Bring your arms over the head and look up like you're pointing, like you're looking up beyond the tip of the sword. Be fierce, be powerful. Beautiful. Try to get your hips square a little bit more. Pull the right hip back in line with the left. Now from here, just turn back alongside the mat again. Hands to the heart, and then step your feet back together. Standing in Tadasana with the arms by the sides of the body like a mountain. Breathe in from the heart to the third eye. Keep reestablishing that strong connection of divinity. Exhale back down to the heart. When you root yourself in God and divinity, you unite with all beings at the same time. Now come down onto your mat, headstand, Shirshasana. So if you don't have a headstand practice, you can just do a few of the following. If you already know your headstand, you want to go into it, go ahead. All right, so otherwise, you can just place your forehead in front of your knees and lift the seat. Try to get your seat right above the knees. Roll more on the back of the head if you can. If it's too uncomfortable, just stay on the top of the head. Eventually, you want to be on the back of the head. If you want to go further, place your hands, you heels, your palms beside your knees. Lift up the seat. Your arms are at right angles. Your hands are in front where you can see them. Walk forward and see if you can come into teddy bear. Bring your knees just under the knees, press into your elbows, and then just dance from toe to toe. Okay, if you can, you flex your toes and you see if you can perch yourself on your arms. Keep with your toes on the ground. If you're not comfortable at all with you, bring your feet up. Don't go to a place of pain or anxiety. This is not what you want to offer up. If you have a lotus, you can come into lotus. And we're making our way back down. Come down smoothly and under control. Rest in child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. So I'll show another version of this swan headstand. You take hold, you measure the right distance by making sure that you can hold your opposite elbows easily. And then you bring your hands down, you bring your head between your palms. Then you lift up your seat, walk your feet towards the elbows as much as you can. Lift one leg up, bring it as far back behind as you can. Flex the toes, push to the base of the toes. And from here, you just lift your heel up and down. Most of the weight's on the forearms. And then eventually you might, if you keep pushing through the back foot, keep the right thigh close to the body, you might be able to hot potato the ground. Do it very gradually. Don't throw yourself up. If you jump yourself up, you're going to go all the way to the other side. So take it easy and take it slow. Keep pushing through the back foot, and if you push in the arms, eventually you'll be able to find your balance to come up. So let's give that a try. If you want, you can do it in front of walls. So imagine that foot that's behind you is kind of coming to the wall. You have to be about almost a leg's length distance from the wall. Go ahead, give it a try. Of course, if you're comfortable in this, you can do whatever you want. That's it, Janique. Bend the toes back. Bend your legs a little bit more, Maria. Keep the foot close to the seat. That's the idea. Good, Sarah. Nice. Beautiful. That's it, Violetta. Pushing your, yes, a little bit more. You just have to get a little bit, push more into forearms, Violetta, and push your back foot behind your head a little bit more, and then you'll be up. Okay? All right. And try for 10 more seconds. That's it. And come back down. Relax in child's pose. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now sit up, come onto your back. Lie on your back with your legs extended. Take a deep breath in. Once you arrive on your back, exhale, imagine you're fainting, let go of all fatigue. Shoulder stands. Start to raise your legs. Your palms are facing down beside your hips. Raise your legs up. Keep pushing into your arms until your seat comes up off the ground. Keep pushing into your arms so you send your feet further back behind your head. And then see if you can bring your hands together behind your back. Just try to get your arms behind your back as much as possible. Your forearms and your wrists come close together. Your wrists touch perhaps. Then bring your hands onto your back, fingers facing up, elbows behind the body. You can come up one leg or both legs at a time into shoulder stand. Your toes are over the chin. If it's too much, you can bend your knees, stay in a tuck. Or alternatively, just rest your seat on your hands and have your legs straight up. Now, once you're in a pose, remain absolutely still. Come back to that consciousness. So hum. Inhale, so. Exhale, hum. I am you. You are me. I am that I am. It runs through every body, every being. Come into plow pose. Start to bring your feet over your head. You can keep your legs extended, or if you like, you can drop your thighs against the body and the knees on either side of the head. Karnapidasana. If your feet don't touch the ground, keep your hands on the back. Try to have your hips over your shoulders. Nothing to do, nowhere to go but deeper within. Moving into plow pose, not plow pose, fish pose. Bring your hands on the ground behind the back, palms down. Keep the legs close to the body as you come down. No hard, fast landings. No jerky movements. Roll down gradually. And when the seat finds its way on the hands, bring the legs down to the ground. Push into the elbows. Lift the chest up as high as you can. And then bring the top of the head to the ground. As close to the seat as possible. Adjust your hands if you need to, move them closer, further down towards the toes, and push your chest up again. Now imagine you're trying to beam love out of your heart to every being everywhere. So you're trying to get your heart as high as possible to make it reach more people, more beings. Break the pose, come back down. Relax for a moment, breathe in, breathe out. Now return to plow pose. Hands beside the body. Bring the legs over the head. See if you can hold on to the ankles or the big toes, your 2-piece fingers. Now you're going to try to come up into boat pose without bending your knees without touching your feet down in between. So take a deep breath in here. Exhale out completely, and the space between the exhale and the inhale, rock up to seated. You might have to do this a few times. Engage your core. But don't make it, don't worry, just come up any which way you want and just land in boat pose. Okay, so from here, you can keep your knees bent if you need to release the feet and have your arms beside your legs, your shins, or you can keep your legs extended. Keep your chest close to your thighs, gaze over the line of the toes, Bhastrika breath. Breathe very fast if you're panting, do it through the nose. And release. Bring the feet down, draw the knees close to the body. Inhale from the base of the spine all the way up to the top of the chest. Hold the breath, contract the buttocks, pull the chest onto the chin onto the chest, third eye focus. Keep holding the breath, keep the root and the throat locked. Exhale slowly. Release the breath. Now from here, come to standing. Bring your fingertips beside your hips and roll up. Head is close to the ground, and then you roll up gradually. Now we're going to stand sideways again. Turn to alongside the mat, open up the feet. Hero sequence again, hands to the heart. Inhale from the heart to the space between the eyebrows. So. Exhale, hum back to the heart. Adjust your feet as you need to. Toes, feet a little bit more wider than the mat, the heels on the inside, toes on the outside. And then hands on the seat, push the hips forward, lift up the chest and go back. Allow the head to fall back. Keep your hips forward. Legs strong. You can move your hands down just to grip below the knees if you like again. Om. Hands back on the seat. Push into seat, roll your way back up. Prasarita Padottanasana. Walk your feet out again, hips, feet wide, arms out to the side, come forward. If you want, you can take hold of the outer edges of the feet again, outer ankles, pull the body in. Shoulders lift, chest forward. If you know how to do a tripod headstand here, you may. So you bring your hands, if your head is on the ground already, you bring your hands in tripod, your fingertips are a little bit behind your heels. You have to shift your weight forward, press into your hands, and then you circle your legs up from there. Another way to come into headstand. Those of you who are, this is for those who already have a strong headstand practice. Otherwise, just stay where you are at. Now, if you're in headstand, come back down the same way as you entered. Open up the legs and bring your feet right down beside your hands. Landing lightly. Arms out to the side, come all the way back up. Again, back bend. Press your hands on your seat. And then again, come into back bend. Push into the seat, lift through the chest, take on the consciousness of a hero, completely devoted, and with your heart fully open to all beings. This is the pose that expresses that love for all beings, that they protect. Om. Coming back, hands back on the seat. All the movements done with mindfulness and reverence. One more time, walk your feet out a little bit. Open up your arms. This time you can switch it up a little bit. You can interlace your fingers behind the back or take hold of your opposite elbows if that's better. Come forward and down. If you have your hands clasped, try to bring the hands over your head towards the ground. If you have your elbows, just pull the elbows up off the back, according to your condition. Keep trying to have your head in between your feet. Back is completely vertical from the seat down to the top of the head. Om. Come all the way back up. Push into your feet, come up. One last back bend. Okay. Hands on the seat, adjust your feet. Push your hips forward, lift the chest, and slowly bring your head back. Make sure, again, you're not crunching up your neck. Drop your shoulders away from the ears so the neck stays long. You want to keep the passage for the breath completely unobstructed. Om. Hands on the seat. Push into the seat and come all the way back up. Good. Hands back to the heart. Breathe in from the heart to the third eye. Breathe back down to the heart. Walk your feet back together and then come to seated position. Extend your legs out in front. Paschimottanasana. So if you need to, you have tight hamstrings, bend your knees, and then you can hug your legs to the body. Inhale, push the chest towards the, try to have your armpits close to the knees. And then as you exhale, you just pour more weight into the legs. If you're flexible, you have your legs straight, go ahead. Keep on creeping the chest forward. You can take hold of the other edge of the feet, bind your hands in front of the feet, whatever you like. Now bring the attention to the base of the spine. Feel like you're a magnet, attracting all the prana there. And eventually that prana will come all the way up through the spine once the opening at the base of the spine allows it to rise. And how do you get to open? It's through observance of ahimsa. It's through observance of the ethical rules, especially compassion. This is what opens you up in the practice. Imagine the top of the head coming to rest right against the feet. Om. Slowly come back up. Slide your feet towards you and then come into a squat. Press the elbows against the inside of the knees. Do it this way. Palms in the same line as the elbows, maybe even lower if you have flexible wrists. Now from here, Ardha Titipasana. Slide your left shoulder in, the elbow comes right close to the roots. Lift the seat just as much as you need to so you can get your whole left arm underneath the leg. I'll do it this way so you can maybe see. Bring the right hand into fist so you can catch the wrist with your left hand. And then raise the right hip up. Try to get the right leg straight, eventually the left leg straight as well. The head comes down towards the ground, the seat comes up high. Look beyond the right shoulder. Now feel free to stay here. If you want to come into birded paradise, walk the right foot in closer to the left. Lift the left heel. You have to take a weight into your right foot. Take a half breath in, pull on the arm, and then come up. Stand firm on that right foot. Pull the left knee back. And if you can eventually straighten the leg as well. So take a half breath in. That's it, Janique. Good. And then come back down, rebend the left leg. Stay strong on the standing foot. Come back down. Make your way back into a squat. Visualize yourself moving into the pose easily. And then see if the body will obey. So pull in tight. Lift the seat just as much as you need to. The whole right arm should go it should be able to go, might be able to come under the leg. Left hand forms a fist, and then just drop the arm down into the wrist. Catch it with the right hand. Lift the left hip. See if you can raise the right hip as well. Get the legs straight as you can, especially the left leg. Look beyond your left shoulder. Feel free to stay here. Or again, come up into birded paradise. Shift more weight into your left foot. Walk your right foot closer. Lift the right heel. And then bend the left leg. Take a half breath in to make yourself feel lighter so you can push yourself up. And use your shoulder to push the knee further back behind the body so you can straighten out your leg a little bit more easily. Beautiful. Come back down and release. Come back into a squat. Now working towards full Titibhasana. Do it this way so you can see. Lift your seat. You try to get both shoulders as far as possible in behind the knees. So just lift your hips a little bit as high as you can. Push the front of the shoulder against the back of the knee. And then do the same thing on the other side. Then you can bring your hands on the seat. Push into the seat from underneath. Try to get your legs straighter and your head between your legs. If your elbows are free, you might be able to eventually take a bind. Take a hind, join your hands behind your back. Go ahead, give it a try. Just pushing your shoulders against the backs of the knees. That's the idea. Good. C'est ça, Yannick. C'est beau. Good, Sarah. All right. Nice. All right, everybody. Start to make your way back down into a squat. And then come down onto your knees and onto your belly. Stack your hands on top of one another. Forehead rests on the hands. Breathe in. Breathe out. Relax. Cobra. You can place your hands underneath your fingertips underneath your shoulders, or alternatively, you want to come into a floor. Take hold of the front edge of the mat with your hands. Come into Sphinx first, and then keep tucking on your mat. Raise your elbows up And start to curve your spine, bring your head back. If that's comfortable, you start to release the mat. Come up higher. Walk your hands even closer, as close as you can. And into your cobra. Hips stay on the ground, your legs together like the tail of a snake. Bring your chest up and the head back. Come into consciousness of a cobra. Imagine having that boundless range of motion. Beautiful. Now, if you like, open up your feet. See if you can bring your feet up towards your head. So imagine you have socks behind your knees if you're doing that variation, and you just try to squeeze your toes, your lower legs to your thigh, your backs to your thighs. Come onto your fingertips. They're right beside the hips to get more height. And then eventually maybe your toes will find your head. Om. Come down. Relax. Forehead on your hands. Breathe in. Breathe out. Now, come on to your back. Urdhva Dhanurasana. Or if you're not sure of the pose, just take a moment to watch. Demonstrate the options. Bring the feet close to the seat, edges of the feet in line with the hips, fingertips on either side of the head. Fingers spread, the fingers facing away. Then lift your seat, push into your fingertips, drag your head back, land on the top of the head and turn your hands around. Fingers facing slightly out and a little bit in front of the head. You can stay here if you like, or take a half breath in and see if you can lift your head up. Lift your heels, and then see if you can get your rock back and forth if you like. Try to get your chest in front of your arms. Try to get your arms and your legs straighter. Go ahead. If you need a modification, stay in bridge pose. Your shoulders stay on the ground, except you lift your hips. You bring your arms underneath, join your hands, and bring your chest to the chin. Now think of the arc in a building or on top of a doorway. Very strong structure. So you try to make your body look like that shape. Good. Lift your heels a little bit more. Try to stay in a pose. Be formidable. Sit. Beautiful, Sarah. Nice, Maria. You like to try to get your chest a little bit higher if you can, towards your chin. Good. Nice, Shanik. Beautiful. Everybody. Come back down. Relax. Breathe in. Breathe out. Next pose. Let's work on forearm balance. So just everybody sit up for a moment. So for forearm balance, again, make sure your elbows are not too wide. The wider they go, they'll have a tendency to slip out and then you just fall out of the pose. So try to bring your elbows a little bit closer than shoulder width apart, lock the thumbs together, and the other fingers are spread, sort of like your baby finger at the same width as the elbow. Okay, so you can do this against the wall if you like. Just imagine I have a wall in front of me. Make sure you don't have you're not too close or too far. You should be about almost a leg length distance away. So if you're doing it free in the middle of the floor, you walk your feet again towards your elbow, bring one leg back as far as you can, over your head. Keep the foot close to the seat, push to the base of the toes. And just practice on just getting buoyant here. Okay, so as I come up, the knees coming towards my belly, and I'm pushing with the back foot beyond my head. Push into the arms, bend your knee, and then see very controlled, very light jumps. Not hard, you're going to send yourself right through the wall. Okay, or just to the other side. And if I have a wall in front of me, I just try to make it so that the wall is always in touch, but I'm just playing off the wall. I'm looking a little bit beyond the fingertips. Okay, keep your legs close to the body. The higher you have the legs, the harder it is to keep your balance. So keep your feet close to the body. If you're doing it in the middle of the floor, move to the back end of the mat. If you do go over, you just land on your mat still. Okay, so sometimes if you go too far, you over rotate. Keep your chin tucked in, bring your chest through, and you just land. It's not a big deal, okay? So give it a try. If you want, you can keep your head on the ground and try to find a balance that way. Come up, and if you find your balance, then you push into your arms and you can lift your head up. That's another way of coming into it. Sarah, you're a little bit close to the wall. Move back a little bit. C'est ça, Jannick. Okay, Maria. Imagine you're doing a split. That's it. Bend your toes back, flex your foot, Violetta. So you want to bend your toes back. Your foot should look like this instead of this. Okay, so bend your toes back and push through the base of the toe. Okay, this gives you more power in the pose. Kayla, try to get your elbows a little bit closer together. That's the idea. Bring your feet closer to the elbows first. That's it, Janine. Beautiful, nice, solid. Good. All right, 10 more seconds. That's it, Kayla. Try to get your elbows going a little bit wide. So get your elbows a little bit closer, okay? It should be, yeah. Just inside your shoulders, basically. That's the width. Oh. Good. I like your solution, Kayla. It's a good way to land. All right. Now come back down, child's pose. Remember that it's not about the outcome, it's about the effort. So try again to just remove all expectations. And then when you're just making an offering, chances are your body will just go into the pose a lot more easily. And then roll your way up. Okay, so now we're coming into Purvottanasana. If you have a lotus, come into your lotus if you like. I'll show different variations. I'll do the lotus one first. So you bring your legs into a tight lotus. You bring your fingertips on either side of the hips, and then you lift up. Try to get your hips forward, your chest high, like that. Okay, that's your lotus one. Come back. You really have to press with your fingertips so that you don't come down hard. Otherwise, you bring your legs out in front, hands flat on the ground, fingers facing away, bend your knees a little bit, and then push into your toes. Bring the knees towards one another, chest higher than the shoulders, and bring your head back. So go ahead, do whichever version you like now. Go ahead. Try to get your toes on the ground. Roll the thighs towards one another. Bend your knees first. Bring your feet closer so that you can get your toes down. Head back and Bhastrika breath. Come out of the pose, stay strong in your hands, chin into your chest, lower the seat down. Bring your legs towards the body again. Breathe in. Hold the breath. Attention at the third eye. Exhale, relax. Now, final twist. If you can, you lean to the right, you bring the left leg back behind. You're not sitting on the foot, it's beside the hip. And right knee comes up. You can take your leg out a few times to the side to prepare. Want to take in lotus, bring your knee towards your shoulder, lean back so the foot comes close to where it has to go, right to the top, the middle of the left thigh, and just insert the foot in the hip crease. Knee comes down. So if you can do this version, go ahead. If you have any knee issues or anything, it's not comfortable, you can keep your left leg extended, and you can bring your foot on the inseam of the leg. Okay, so this is another version. Now to come into the twist, turn towards the right, roll the right arm all the way around the body. You can either grab your shirt if you like, a handful of your shirt if you can't reach the foot, or press your hand into your thigh. Your other hand comes to your outside of your right knee. Inhale, lift through the chest, push your lower back up and in. Exhale, turn to the right. Imagine the twist originating at the base of the spine and going all the way up through to the top, to the base of the brain. And you try to get your chin over your shoulder, right shoulder. Keep the back straight. Come back, go to the other side. Switch your legs around. The right leg folds back if you're doing that variation. And the left foot coming into your lotus. Or on the inseam of the leg. Alternatively, right leg extended, just like that. Okay. Make sure both sides of the seat are grounded. Turn to the left. Roll the left head of the shoulder forward. Bring the arm all the way around the body. You can use the other hand to assist to find the foot. Right hand. Press the back of the fist against the left knee. Inhale, lift the chest. Exhale, turn to the left. Make sure the right side of the seat doesn't come up. One more breath, go tall. As you twist, make sure you don't fall back into the hips. At the end of the exhale, come back. Lie on your back for a few moments. So just for a few breaths before we do some pranayama. Just relax the body completely. Relax everything. Drop all fatigue out of the body. And then come back up. Mindfully roll back up to seated position. We're going to do some pranayama now in order to prepare the mind for quieting the mind for the yoga nidra, the shavasana. So sitting up tall and straight. Going to do alternate nostril breathing. The count is 3, 12, 6. Rhythmic alternate nostril breathing. So we're breathing in through the active side, holding a breath, closing both sides of the nose, and then exhale through the less active side. Inhale back through the less active side. Plug the nose again, both sides. Exhale through the active side. I'll explain the active side in a minute, how to find it. During the breath retention, however, you're contracting the muscles of the perineum, pulling up towards the navel. Okay, so you feel a tightness there, tension there. Bring the chest up high, chin on the chest, shoulders down. And then you're bringing the tongue behind the teeth to the upper palate. So that completes the seal. The tension is at the third eye. I'll guide you through this, don't worry. Left hand in Jnana Mudra, second index finger and the thumb connected. Other fingers straight. You rest on your left knee. The right hand, second and third fingers fold down. This is called Vishnu Mudra. Turn the palm towards the face and then use it for pranayama. The right thumb blocks off the right nasal passage, a right ring finger for the left nasal passage. You always use your right hand. Now to find the active nostril, plug one side at a time. See if you can find which side feels more free to let in and out the breath. And then the active side is the one that feels more open. If it's both the same, you default to the left, but usually this switches between the two every 2 hours or so. So let's sit up tall again. The back has to be very straight. Take a deep breath in through both nostrils. Exhale through both nostrils. Empty the lungs. Close off the less active nostril. In my case, it's the right side. Inhale through the active. 2, 3. Hold the breath. Plug the nose, both sides. 2, 3, 4. Engage locks. Third eye focus. 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Release the locks. Breathe out through the less active side. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale through the less active side. 3. Hold the nose closed, both sides. Third eye attention. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Breathe out through the active side. Release the locks. 3, 4, 5, 6. Inhale through the active. Breathe in as much air as you can. For 3. Hold the breath for 12. Apply the throat and root lock as always. Exhale through the less active side for 6 counts. Nice and even. 5, 6. Inhale through the less active side for 3. Hold the breath. Keep the face relaxed even as you're holding the breath. 4, 5, 6. Inhale through the less active side for 3. Hold the breath. Keep the face relaxed even as you're holding the breath. 5, 6. Inhale through the less active side for 3. Hold the breath. Keep the face relaxed even as you're holding the breath. 4, 5, 6. Exhale through the active side, release the locks slowly. Continue on your own for a few breaths. Just one more cycle after your current one completes. That cycle ends and begins on the active side. Once you complete it, lie on your back. Make sure that you're in a comfortable position. Ensure your warmth and your comfort. This is an active form of meditation and it has profound healing effects. Is the best way, is a very effective way of removing impurities. So now prepare yourself mentally by repeating to yourself the following sentence 3 times. I will remain awake and alert during the instructions. Now the process begins on the left side, relaxing the body systematically. Bring the attention to the left hand. The best of the best taking place here. And you have, by relaxing so that you can be more receptive to the benefits. Allow all the fingers of the left hand to go limp. Release all tension in the fingers, in the back of the hand, so it just rests like dead weight on the ground. The palm of the hand soft. All tension disappeared. The wrist loose and flaccid. Then just start to bring the attention to the arm, the lower arm, starting there, feeling it becoming heavy as a result of relaxing it completely. So the skin are hanging from the bones. Then creeps up through beyond the elbow, which is inactive, and into the upper arm. The whole arm feels heavy. Right up to the shoulder. Shoulder is loose, relaxed. And then start to feel that heaviness start to enter into the left side of the back. Feel it sinking down. Feel the heaviness just going into the shoulder blades, all across the shoulder blades, right down to the very tip, bottom tip. And more of the heaviness just pours into that left side of the back, right through the lower back, down the side of the body, down the front of the body. Feel everything just caving in on the left side, making its way into the hip joint, the pelvis now. The whole pelvis being enveloped in heaviness as well. So we're injected with lead. Moving all the way across, spreading across the left side, into the outside and into the seat. Anchoring down the body. And then it moves into the thigh as well. Thigh feels like lead, but still relaxed, even though heavy. And it keeps moving down further and further into the lower leg, into the ankle, and into the foot. Left foot, top of the foot is relaxed, no tension. Bottom of the foot as well, the heel softened of any tension that was in there. Foot falls to the outside, toes are limp, big toe right down to little toe. Release all tension from there. And then the right side, same thing, starting back at the right hand. All the fingers, just relax them. Allow them to go limp and lifeless. Back of the hand just resting placidly on the ground. The palm soft, without any tension. Up and into the wrist as well, loose and limp. And then it starts to creep, that relaxation, that tension starts to work its way up through the right arm, starting at the lower arm, feeling heavy there, completely lifeless. Up through the elbow, upper arm now is becoming heavy. So heavy that it's completely immobile, useless. Into the shoulder joint, relax everything in the shoulder joint, all parts of it. Remove all tightness and all tension. And then start to feel heaviness creep down the right side of the back, like ink coloring the water. feel the injection of that heaviness just moving all throughout the shoulder blade region, right down to the very tip, bottom tip. And then keep on moving down to the lower back, down the side body, down the front. Everything just caves in and just sinks further down into the heaviness. Starts to infiltrate the hip region now, the pelvis. Starting to just become very heavy. All around, inside the front and around the outside and into the seat. The whole hip joint immobilized. The leg as well. The thigh, starting at the top of the leg. The thigh is like lead, so incredibly heavy. Down, all the way down the lower leg, into the foot. Foot falling away from the other one. Top of the foot is relaxed without tension. The heel and the bottom of the foot relaxed, and the toes as well. So from the outside, neck down to the toes, everything is feeling heavy, lifeless. Inside as well, the organs of the body, the lungs, left lung and right, the heart, stomach, intestines, kidneys, liver, all the rest. Just quiet. Just operating just as it needs to, the minimal amount in order to keep the life sustained, no more. The activity reduces drastically. The head is heavy on the ground. All the features of the face are soft so as to exhibit no tension, no effort. The jaw is relaxed, the mouth. The forehead has no signs of strain or anxiety, completely smooth. The eyes are soft. Ears, throat, everything relaxed. And within the ears, between the ears, inside the head, the brain becomes very quiet as well. The activity reduces, so much so that just becomes like the witness again, quietly observing the body in its still lifeless state, lying there like a corpse. And then with the body so incredibly heavy from the relaxation, it's as if it's sunk right down into the earth, out of view, out of mind, out of consciousness. All that remains is darkness. So you look at that screen, imaginary screen that sits behind the forehead between the eyes. But then a spark of light shows up, starts to grow bigger and bigger. A white light that just fills up the entire space of that movie screen. Pure white light, but not hard on the eyes at the same time, just brilliant and beautiful. Illuminating everything. This is your true nature. Lightness, brilliance, pure potential, pure light, and light represents wisdom and intelligence. So repeat to yourself now 3 times the following auto-suggestion. Ingrain it in your mind and your heart. Carry it with you at all times. I am the light that illuminates the darkness within and within all beings. In every interaction that you make with any being, animal, human, plant, strive to see the light that is in them as well. For we're all connected through that divine spark, that light. Keep shining brilliantly your own light. To remind others to find the light in others as well, and as well as themselves, most importantly. Now prepare to bring that light off the mat and into the world. Now bring the body back into your consciousness, into your awareness. Again, see it reappear. Feel as though you dropped back into your body and start to become aware again of your breath. Start to become aware again of your fingers, your toes, arms, legs, all the systems that animate the body. Come back into the body, which is a vehicle that allows you to carry out your mission of spreading love and light into the world. Prepare in the most utmost, gentlest way possible, most reverent way, and quiet way, to come back to a seated position. Close with Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Instill the peace within. Send it out to all beings. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Be receptive to the divine grace. All is within. Namaste. Thank you so very much for joining me today. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you so much, Justine. Have a wonderful end of weekend.
You too.
Thanks, Justine.
Thank you very much.